Hi everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to build a agent. As you can see, the Reg Agent is a powerful question and answer agent that breaks down information from superficial to precise. In this example, I used a fictional restaurant so that I could ask for the address, operating hours, and the price of a dish. But you can use it for many other things. For example, you can use it for e-commerce or for conducting market research. Without wasting any more time, let's get to what matters. First of all, I need to be a bit more specific. What is a Reg Agent? In other words, this agent combines information retrieval techniques with text generation. So let's get started. Well, before we start the flow stage, it's good for you to see what information I'm going to send to my database. In the following steps, you need to understand that this information will be what clients will request in my fictional scenario. Okay, so just so you understand, all this information is fictional. The first node you should add, as you can see, is the Google Drive node. But it's not just any Google Drive node. There's the Google Drive node that allows you to download files. It's this one. So when you go to run this workflow, don't forget, the node you should ping is this node here. After adding this node, you can see inside it, the way it's pre-configured is the correct way. Okay, if you have any questions about how to connect your credentials, I have a video here on the channel specifically about that. The video is about how to connect or create your credentials here for n8n. So if you have any doubts or issues at this stage, I recommend you watch that video. It's a short video, but very powerful. With the knowledge from that video, you'll be able to add any credentials for Google, Google Drive, Calendar, or Sheets from now on. Okay, after that, you won't need to mess with anything regarding those options up here. Only in this file option. In this file option, you should select the file to which the restaurant data belongs. This data is the same as this one. So, when you go to select from the list, don't forget to select the correct list. Once you add this node, you can go inside it. And here you need to put your Pinecone credentials and also which Pinecone index you are using. I will show you where you can find these credentials and where you can get that index. File 2. Okay, if you were new to the Android 20 platform and Pinecone as well, and you came here to create credentials, you should come here and click on Open Docs. In Open Docs, just scroll down a bit to Pinecone console. Once you choose what type of access you want to log in, whether it's Gmail or manually through email, after logging in, you will be directed to a window exactly like this one. It's pretty simple. Just come here to create an index. Here in the index name, I recommend that you create the same name as your client or the same name as the project you are currently working on. I will put restaurant because it's based on our current example. Here in the embedding settings, I recommend that for now you set it to small and configure. If you are using a free plan, just like I am, for example, and there won't be much that can be done, then after this you can come here to create the index. Perfect. Index created. Just come here to the corner and do this. When you come here, you can set it to Shogati, and after that, copy it. After copying, you will come here and paste it. And when you paste, don't forget to hit save. Okay, perfect. After that, you press the button. Make sure the operating mode here is set to insert documents. Then come here to the panel with the index and go to the list. Here, you should select exactly the same name of the index you put earlier. In this case, it's restaurant. Okay. Pay attention to this detail. After that, select which embedding mode you want to be operating with this node by Pinecone vector. Okay, as you remember, when we were setting up the index, we selected the small one. So here, you should also select the same model of the index to which you are inserting the information, in this case, the small one. Great! Here in Default Data Loader, if you signed up for Data Loader, what does it do? It loads the data correctly, ensuring that the system understand how to process the files. One thing you need to pay close attention to is that the data type has to be binary. It will usually come as Johnson, so be aware of that. And why use binary? Because we are working with PDF files, and they need to be treated as binary data, meaning a sequence of bits and not regular text. And along with the data loader, you have to include a text splitter. In this case, we are going to use the recursive method. And what does Retrieval do? It divides large texts into smaller fragments, making processing and efficient information retrieval easier. Basically, it is important because it enhances Pinecone's ability to search and provide quick answers by breaking down large texts into manageable parts. Now, to test if the document we uploaded to Drive with the fictional restaurant information is being downloaded and sent as binary data to the index we created in Pinecone, it's quite simple. Just come here to test. Everything seems to be working correctly. Here is the Google Drive type. You can see that it is downloading the information, moving forward with the PDF. And if we look here at the name in Pinecone, both in the tax part where it is today, you can see the information from our PDF is downloaded and sent. And then you can see that it is configured as binary data. You can see that now the text has been broken down into several steps. This is done through our recursive method as well. The first step of our agent Reg, the step responsible for sending the data, the database is correct. Now let's move on to the second step, the step where we will test if the information is really working in practice. Great! In this step, we will create a simple agent so that it can simply activate a RUP, the information retrieval, and see if the way we input the information into Pinecone is correct so that a common agent can fetch the information and provide a humanized and contextualized response. Okay, let's go then. It's very important that this first node should be a chat node so that we can always test internally within our flow. After that, an agent node, because this agent node will be responsible for activating the actions when necessary and interacting in the most humanized way possible. Inside the agent mode, it's pretty simple. Here we will basically just add a prompt. You can take a screenshot if you want, but it's important for you to understand that the command to activate the action when a certain event happens needs to be clear and simple for the agent to interpret. Okay, in this current example, we told it that it is a virtual assistant for a restaurant and that it specializes in providing information about the menu and opening hours for users. Perfect! After adding this prompt, you should add a language model. The language model we use is the 04 Mini. Why? Because in my view, it's the model that costs little and delivers very good results. We need to add the memory buster so that it has a meme of remembrance about past conversations with the user. I finally act as vector store. This tool here is responsible for activating the Pinecone database. So as you can see here, I simply named it data, and after that, the vector store I selected was Pinecone. Alright, here in Pinecone, the only thing you need to do, very different from what you've seen so far, is to change this operating mode. Instead of inserting documents, we are going to retrieve documents. We will read documents that have already been sent to the database. So here you set it to retrieve documents. And in the Pinecone index, once again, you need to select the name of the restaurant index here. Okay, now they will require an embedding. Remember, every time we are going to put an embedding to interact with an index that was created as small or large, we must repeat the pattern of this embedding. In this case, it's small again. In the virtual store, it also asks for a chat model. The chat model we will use will also be 04.me. Okay, and configured so you can test it in practice. So let's see if it's working. Let's ask what time they usually open the restaurant. Perfect. It answered me accurately based on the information from the document that someone already provided. Here on the side, you can check the path that the information took before being sent to the user. So, the agent already saw that it was a question related to the activation of the tool. So, he activated the tool, went to Pinecone, and returned in a contextualized manner, and using the chat model to humanize the way this response is formatted. Let's ask a slightly more specific question. Perfect. He was also able to accurately respond with the address of our restaurant. Great. At another moment, he repeated the path to Pinecone and returned to the chat model to format his response. Alright, now let's go for a very specific question about an item on the menu. Let's see if he can understand how you can check. He went into the Pinecone document. read the precise information about the n8n, and returned with the answer. And if you want to improve your business's operational efficiency through AI, send a message to the email listed in the description and talk to one of our developers. If you liked this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more videos like this. See you next time.